Hey, it's Brock here from Rockhill Farms, and the last few videos we've made have resulted in a lot of firewood piling up behind me. Not exactly firewood, but logs that need processed into firewood. We've got some giant 35 to 40 inch diameter logs right behind me, and then we've got a lot more that are in this size range, like the 12 to 18 inch diameter. And I think I'll save those big rounds for the next video, but today we're going to cut rounds out of these logs and get them split up. And then I've also got some new tools for processing firewood that I want to show you guys and kind of give my thoughts on. So let's get started. So at the beginning of the video, I told you that I wanted to show you some wood processing tools. And this is a tool set that I first saw in Outdoors with the Morgans, and I figure anything that's good enough for Mike is good enough for me. So I ordered this Logox 3-in-1 forestry set. And I'm going to show you, in case you haven't already seen it, what you get with that and how it works and how useful I find it to actually be. And then I also, after having it a little while, realized it was awkward to carry because, you know, you're already carrying a chainsaw and whatever other tools you're using, and this is just one more extra thing to carry. So I went back and got what I should have got to begin with. They have a larger kit, and I don't know off the top of my head what it's called, but they've got the 3-in-1 forestry tool, and then there's like a all-inclusive set that gives you a better deal. And in that set, you get a belt, a holder for the carrying tool, and this carry bag. So it's not very heavy. Right now I've got it over my shoulder, and I can have a chainsaw in this hand and any other tools, a gas jug or whatever else I need in the other hand. And definitely, if you get the forestry tool, get the bag, or, you know, unless you already happen to have a bag that's going to work for that. So let's check it out. All right, so let's open it up and see what's in here. Hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm doing a commercial for Logox, because I haven't had this that long and I think I'm gonna like it. I've used it a few times, but I haven't had it long enough to know if I love it or not. So the first piece is the Logox Hauler. It's for gripping and moving rounds, primarily rounds. Split wood doesn't pick up very well with it, and you don't really want to use it for longer logs necessarily. Okay. The next piece that you have is an extended handle. That handle goes onto the hauler and pins on like this to turn the hauler into a cant for rolling logs. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this on real quick. The cant is definitely a handy tool. Whether you get it from Logox or wherever you get it, if you're going to process firewood, you want a cant. So that's second step of assembling this. Then the third way this can be used is as a jack, log jack. So to use it as a jack, you pull two pins out, put this on the back. You're not required to drop the pins like I just did. Okay. When you pin that on here, and then you use it as a cant, then whenever you finish rolling and this hits the ground, you roll a little bit more and let the handle hit there. It holds the log up just the same way I was holding one up with the grapple. Now you're going to be limited on the size of log that you can hold with this timber jack, but this seems like it'll definitely be handy too. The part that I'm not yet sure how much I like, whether I just like it or love it, is the hauler, which is the main piece. If you're using a certain size of round, then it's great, because the size of round that it does the best picking up on is a size that you can lift comfortably with it, throw up onto your splitter or trailer or truck bed or whatever you're doing. It's gonna save your back a lot of stress. So before I start splitting this wood, I think I'll demonstrate a little bit using the hauler. I've got my best friend Zayden here. He's just helping me work.
Good.
What kind of work are we doing today?
The tree.
A tree? What are we doing with the tree?
We're gonna build it.
Make firewood?
Yeah.
How do we make firewood out of a tree? What do you have to do to a tree to make firewood?
Burn it in the fire pit.
Well, but before you burn it, when it's a tree, what do you have to do with a tree before it's firewood?
We have hammer it.
Yeah. First we cut it with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And then we hit it with the with the splitting maul.
Yeah.
and that breaks it into little pieces so we can carry it.
You did hammer.
And then we put it in the fire, right?
And we have a tractor here.
We use the tractor for moving the big logs that are too heavy to carry.
And
we also use this for moving some logs. You think we can move some logs with that?
And we can hammer.
Yep. Okay, Dad's here. You want to go say hi to Dad? Okay, go run around there, or run that way and go find him. When I was describing what came in this Logox set, I almost forgot one of the coolest things. Now this piece right here is not part of the 3-in-1 forestry tool, but it does come with the forestry package that I was talking about. This is a Pick-A-Roon attachment. And you basically use it to stab into a log or a branch and drag it. So it's an alternative way to move stuff that isn't ideal for the hauler, but might be ideal for this. So this is the handle you use to make your hauler into a cant. You just put the Pick-A-Roon into that same handle, and now you can drag logs with this. So let's try out a couple of log sizes that are ideal for this and for the hauler, and some that are not ideal for each of them. So I'm going to try stabbing this from the side. That was still fairly hard to pull. That was a heavy log, but stabbing it with this and dragging it over to the splitter was better than trying to pick it up and carry it. Really, the best use I see for this is if you're unloading wood out of a truck or a trailer and you got that back row that you can't reach, but you don't really want to climb up there either. You can stab them easily, stab them and drag them to you with this. So definitely a useful tool. Alright, so I've got the hauler out now, and I want to do a comparison. So, I don't know, this is like an 8 or 9 inch diameter round right here. Slips over really easily lift it onto the splitter. When you go to set it up there, you can put your fingers right here. You can toss it that way, or you can set it on the splitter and lift that off. There's a couple different ways of doing it. So if you've got rounds that are in that 7 to 10 inch diameter and you're going to split a bunch of them up, this is a great tool. 10 times better than bending down and picking them up. You also aren't smashing your fingers or anything else, so I really like it for that. Now here we've got a 13, 14 inch diameter round, and we'll see how it goes picking up a larger one like that. So it looks like it'll go around it well enough to lift it. Makes me a little nervous. I'm going to drop it on my toe. It doesn't have a very deep bite, and it's still going to be 2 hands. So I think on rounds, the limit on this is probably 10 to 12 inches. Anything bigger than that, you're not going to want to use this hauler. I've also seen, I think I've seen people pick them up from the end, so we could give that a try. So I've had this and I've been using it a couple weeks, and it hadn't even occurred to me to pick them up from the end. But on this larger diameter stuff, that's going to be the way to do it. So for the most part, if I was moving a bunch of these, I'd do it with the grapple. But if you don't have a grapple, this hauler will do a good job on this size log picking them up from the end. So then I told you it comes with a belt and a holder. So this right here is handy so that you can be doing whatever else you're doing. Pick up a log, put it on the splitter, put it back on your belt. Now you say, well, what if I've got a pile of split wood? Is this going to be any good for that? So it'll definitely pick them up and move them, but if you've really got a pile of split wood, this is going to be slow. You're going to want to grab one in each hand and just kind of toss them or carry them over and stack them that way, but it will pick them up. All right, so overall, I'd say these Logox products are really handy and could save your back if you're doing the right kind of work that requires them. That Pick-A-Roon is going to be great for unloading a truck bed, and if you have the right size rounds, this hauler is going to be great for loading your splitter or loading up a trailer or wherever you're putting it. So a lot of my videos end when the sun goes down, and that's where we're at right now. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch. In a minute, you'll see a couple more of our videos pop on the screen right here, and I'll see you next time.